And welcome to Between the Posts. Tommy Javor here, joined by Jad Gosson. Jad, how are you?
Yeah, good. Happy to be back on the show.
Oh, mate, great to have you. What a huge day. Grand finals in Division 2 to 6, prelim in Div 1, mate. Where were you yesterday? I know the answer, but where were you?
Yes, I was at the Division 6 Grand Final. Obviously, he's the Division 6 expert.
Yeah.
So, went there and saw a bit of an upset. We'll get into that a bit more later.
Huge upset, really, isn't it? We both said 20-0, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. But looking forward to hearing about that. Of course, I was at the Division 1 prelim final, so I'll be covering that in my report. Let's have a look at what is on today's show. And we do, in fact, have my Division 1 report for the second to last time this year. We've got an exclusive segment called Talking Flags. We'll cover off Div 7 to Div 2 and the Team of the Year announcement. What else we got, brother?
Yeah, so goals and marks of the week, of course, the most exciting, high-flying and amazing goals that happen across the week. Division 6, we'll do that in Talking Flags, so look out for that one, as well as what caught our eye.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be a great show. It's an exciting show. Now, a lot of people probably won't tune in because their season is done, but I know to everyone that's won a premiership, they'll be watching. They'll be excited to see. Congratulations on your premiership, and we hope you enjoy the show. And welcome to the penultimate Division 1 report of the year. Of course, we have a look at yesterday's preliminary final. It was a beautiful Campbelltown Oval, and it was Port Districts who were too good. 13-14-92. Payneham 8-8-56. Let's have a look at the star player of the day. That was number 5 for Port Districts, Sam Gray. He took home a beautiful pair of green Archie's thongs. Well, it was a day with tricky conditions. There was certainly a strong breeze to the left of screen, and Port were able to use it very well and control Payneham when they used it. Let's look at all the better players for Payneham. Matty Nye, Brad McKenzie down back was very good again. Hodges certainly had a little purple patch there and was good. Ant Giannini and Mac Haynes, the Mac Daddy. While support, Louis Sharrett, his second half was simply outstanding. Scotty Lysette, Miller Carter, Tom Carter, and the Hoff, Alex Deinhoff. The goal kickers, Catalano, Tyler Sparknell, Tom Wagner, Joey Christancic, Jack Hodges kicking a couple, Matt Nunn and Jacob Campbell for PNU. While support, it would have been very pleasing for coach Josh Ramsey to see 9 different goal scorers. They found different ways to kick goals. It was a brace to Deinhoff, Batty, Gray and Carter, singles to Mitch Gaffney, Harry Dwyer, Sam McKay, Louis Sharrett and Scott Lysette. Words are great, but pictures tell a great story. Let's have a look at the extremely comical yet talented goal from Scott Lysette.
Lysette. Oh, he plays on! He kicked that like a big goofy ruckman, didn't he?
He's still got the
no
ball.
way! No way!
He kicked the left foot snap.
Yourself.
Oh, wow. Sorry if we're...
Funny as it was, one of the reasons I've shown you that is just to highlight the courage of Scott Lysette. He cannot kick on his right foot, whether it's a driver or a quad, or there's something, done himself a bit of a mischief there. So he either handles or kicks left foot all day and still had a huge impact on the day. Controlled the air, was dominant in the tap work, gave Port first use and are able to control the clearances and win it at the source. Courage personified, and well done to Scott Lysette, still managing to jag a goal without only being able to use his left foot. Look, it was a really entertaining game. As close as it was 7 points in Port's favour at three-quarter time, but they were coming home with the breeze. The fact they were able to kick 5 goals into the breeze throughout the day was probably the difference in the game, and ultimately the 36-point margin. Payneham kicking just the 1 goal from a downfield free into that breeze. In the last quarter, Port ran away with it, kicking 5-7 while they were running on top of the ground. You can see they got their confidence back, and they were playing, well, some of the best attacking Port football we thought we might see a lot more of this year, and it has come to fruition. Now, they're starting to look very, very dangerous. We've been expecting it all year. I must give myself a little uppercut as well. I predicted Port and Glenaga in a grand final all year, and then changed my tip to Payneham. Got seduced by the great running style and running football of Payneham that they've been playing in the final series. I want to give a shout out to the Payneham Footy Club as well. Obviously, I'm a life member there, and I love the club, but a team just absolutely littered with under-23s. They'll continue to be strong. Now, there's no certainties. We've seen Tea Tree Gully go from a prelude to relegation. In Division 1, there is no certainties, but I expect them to be around the mark. If they add 1 or 2 more players, they could be really competing this year. Well done to Jeremy Cheney and all of the crew at Payneham. You've done an outstanding job. Even President Marty Smith. Had my doubts, Marty, but you have been wonderful, especially with that little hairdo you've got going. But Payneham, be very proud of your efforts. And Port District, look out, here they come. As I mentioned, let's have a look at a couple of quick photos. Best on ground was Sam Gray with his Archies. And yesterday we had a Mosley Award for Best Team Man. Could have given it to Scotty Lysette, but we went with Miller Carter. His job down back was outstanding. He was the one that dropped back loose behind the play. He stopped Payneham when they were going with a breeze, and his efforts were excellent. Plenty of touches and good ball usage. Congratulations, Miller Carter. So what does it leave us with now? It leaves us with time to discuss the big dance. The biggest game in football in Adelaide Footy League, the Division 1 Grand Final this Saturday at Nord Oval or Coopers Stadium. Before we look forward, we need to look back just a little bit. These teams have met 3 times this year, and it's Glenunga with a 3-0 winning ratio. In the early game this year at Largs Reserve, it was Glenunga by 44 points. Abe Davis completely dominant. In round 12 at Webb, it was Glenunga by just 4 points, but they were up by as much as 5 goals late in the third quarter. Port finishing very strongly, Glenunga not scoring in the final quarter. That day was Charlie Pridham's fast leg speed and good ball usage that got him the Best on Ground award. And then in QF2, or the second semi, to put Glenunga into a grand final, Glenunga were dominant. A 74-point win with McMahon kicking 7. They just looked irrepressible. One of the best games of Division 1 football I've seen a team play. The question is, can they do it on the big stage? There's a familiar air about this story. We go back to last year and we look at Glenunga. They beat PAC in the second semi-final, that time by just 7 points at Webb Oval, and then they fronted up against PAC with 1,300 games of AFL and SAMFL experience, and they just got done. Up at three-quarter time, they got done in the last quarter of last year's decider. This year, it's a very similar prospect with names like, and you've heard the names before, but Gray, Sharrod, Lysette, Rose, literally hundreds of games of SAMFL experience and AFL experience, and they will be very, very hard to stop. I could go on and on. Carpeney, the list is just about endless. Almost everyone on that Port list has been somewhere around a league SAMFL club or a reserves at the very least. So I guess the next thing for me to do is say who's going to win. Now, Adam Jeffries, my stream team commentator, he's hit Glenunga by 5 goals. And things would suggest that looks like it's incredibly likely, but just grand finals are a different beast. Nord Oval, similar dimensions to Webb Oval, which certainly won't hurt Glenunga, but Port, I think, will come hard at Glenunga. They will certainly push them. On paper, if you're looking at the team just on paper, you would suggest this is Port's grand final, but games aren't played on paper. Nathan Grimer has this team absolutely humming. They play contested, tight, tough football. They work for each other. They fight. They don't care who scores the goals. It's all about the team game. There'll be some incredibly exciting matchups. West versus Lysette. Westie's lowered his colours a few times this year. Can Scott Lysette on one leg find a way? Who goes to Sam Gray? And the question on the tips of everyone's lips is Abe Davis. Will he be 100%? He looked okay yesterday to me. And who will match up with him? Will it be a team defence? Will it be a Gaffney? Who knows? Davidson, will he go to McMahon after McMahon kicked 7 on him? And Batty and Smith, well, Batty can't have another day like he did in QF2. I think this game will be a lot closer than what some people might expect. But my final tip, the 2024 Adelaide Footy League Premier will be Glenunga by between 2 and 3 goals. This is Tommy Javor. I'll be back with the grand final report on next week's Div 1 report.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
Welcome back to Between the Posts. I'm really happy to announce that at 5 p.m. this Wednesday, I'll be telling you who has been selected in the Adelaide Footy League Team of the Year. Good luck to all players. back to Between the Posts, and it's time for an exclusive. It's called Talking Flags. We're going to have a look at all the grand finals, Jad, and we're going to start in Division 7 last week at Coopers Stadium. And you were there, mate. What happened?
Yeah, so Para Hills won 11-9 to 10-9, the 6-point game there, and a very good game of football, very exciting, a big buzz, a lot of atmosphere there at Norwood Oval.
Yeah, beautifully done. Congratulations on your premiership, Para Hills. Let's look at the better players and goal kickers. We'll start with those Sullivan's Beach better players. Kasler, Loveridge, Williams, Harwood and Glenelg Jr. Andrew Terry was very good. Whilst the goal kickers for OSB, Dan Loveridge kicked 4, Rigney 3, Fielder 2 and Anderson 1. But for Para Hills, best on ground was Aranis Faha, James, Victor, Sleep and Leak. And the goal kickers, that man Dan Wheatra kicked 3 along with James. Cody Victor kicked 2, Billing 1, Aranis Faha 1. What a thrilling contest, mate. You were there. Take us through it.
Yeah, it was a crazy game of football. It started off strong from OSB. We're looking at a bit of an upset at half time, but then Para Hills, very professional performance. They came out. That fourth quarter, if you can go back and have a watch it, 4 goals in that game, in that quarter that could have been up there for goals of the week, I think. They were just unreal, and some of the snaps, the kicks, it was actually very good quality football. Some people think Div 7 is going to be a bit of a scrappy game. It was unreal game, and at Norwood Oval, a lot of crowd there, and yeah, some fun moments. Yeah, we had Wheatra on the scoreboard as well as Rigney, the 200 goal kickers against each other. That was a bit of the story going into it. And
both kicked 3 as well.
Yes, very, very good game from both of them. And yeah, a lot of good performances. Loveridge, I loved his game. He got 1 goal. He did the don't argue, snapped from 50 for the big fella. He was very good. And yeah, if you can go back and watch some of the highlights.
It's worth looking, and you can. Yeah. Of course, it was the premiership quarter. I don't want to throw too many cliches out, but I will. 5-2 to 2-1, where Para Hills turned the 9-point deficit into a 10-point lead. What happened in the third quarter? What with the style of play?
Yeah, Para Hills almost. It's maybe not the best to say, but they showed up. They were like, "Here's the grand final. We've been top all year.
Here's a moment.
Come back after half time." The coach got them out. They were actually in the huddle probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes more than OSB, and that was almost like a little bit of a pump up, a little bit of a, we have to come out. They were very professional effort. Asfaha in the middle as well. They moved him from half forward into the middle, and he caused a few problems for OSB. His run, his carry, his speed from the middle of the ground. The first minute or 30 seconds off the top of my head, he got a clearance straight away, and I was like, oh, here he's on now, and the speed he showed through the middle of the ground was probably the difference in that third quarter as well.
Yes, and a nice little segue there. We've got a great photo of Aranis Faha, who was named best on ground. 2 medals in 1 day is not a bad effort, and a huge congratulations to Craig Forby, the Para Hills coach, and to everyone at Para Hills who's worked tirelessly off the field. Well done. You got both teams obviously will go into Division 6, but Para Hills you go in Division 6 premierships, and well, they have every right to be talking flags because you've got the job done. Division 6 at Ex-Convenience Oval Central Districts. It's time for talking flags, and it was. What was the score, mate? You were there. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, it was a good game again. A very close game of Division 6 footy. It was a 7-10, 52 to 6-5, 41, 11 points at the margin gone the way of Eastern Park. A big upset in that one as well.
Well, they were 19-0 coming in, weren't they? And I reckon you were on the show about a month ago. I called you Babe Ruth. Every prediction you made was just hitting the mark, and I don't think you've hit one since, mate. We both got it wrong, so put our hands up on that one. Say, well done, Eastern Park. Too good.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't blame anyone for picking someone up in 0. But,
no, you wouldn't.
Eastern Park, yeah, massive. It was a quite a low-scoring game compared to the 2 teams with the highest scoring in the division. But it was a really good defensive game from both. Eastern Park took a lot of crucial defensive marks, a lot of intercept marks. They set up nice behind the ball, and they just hit their targets, really. The short kicking, long kicking, they just found their targets every time. Salisbury were a little bit jittery, especially near the end. They were trying to get to the win, which, you don't blame them, trying to get the win at the end, and were just a little bit better from Eastern Park. But yeah, the third quarter, Salisbury were held goalless as well, which was quite a big
3-2 to 1 point in the premiership quarter. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. And for the best player was Chris Knapp. So
best on ground. Congratulations, Nappy. Let's have a look at all those goal kickers and best players. We'll start with Salisbury, where Gamio and Brooks had a brace. Duncan and Putty hit the scoreboard. Their better players were Pryor, Keenahan, Duncan, Shields and Hull. For Eastern Park, goal kickers, Ben McMullen kicked 2, Sean Mansell kicked 2, Captain Alex Clements hit the scoreboard, as did McGee, and winner of last week's goal of the week, McCormick Smith, also kicked a goal. Best players, Glenn, Carter, McMullen, Malera and Chris Knapp, who we've mentioned already, won the medal. A big congratulations to Anton Rayleigh. Early in the year on Between the Posts, I put up some photos where I caught up with him at Anzac Day, where he'd taken his players to Anzac Day to the dawn service. And I just thought that's a really strong cultural piece, bringing the players and galvanising. He did something else on the day, didn't he?
Yeah, in front of all the fans and his teammates, he did the haka. With a bunch of the other boys there, and it was a big moment. We interviewed him after the game about it. He said he likes to get his players prepared for a battle, prepared for war, and it really set the tone of how they wanted to play. Chris Knapp as well, just quickly about him, best on ground, as you mentioned. He was goalless, which 107 goals going in to keep goalless, but he played a different role, definitely. He pushed up the ground a lot more, took big marks in defence and on the wing, and a good effort by him to just change his role a little bit slightly for the victory.
What was the crowd like?
It was a very good crowd.
Well, now the Eastern Park crew, they know how to party.
Yep.
I'm not. Their socials are lit up. You got Jax Cotton doing his thing, and
Yes.
a huge congratulations to them all. But what were the scenes like post game? Because they weren't expected to win. There's been a bit of the old too slow, too old bouncing around, and not just this division, but a couple others. But they must have been very happy with themselves.
Yeah, very happy. A big crowd. There was the Demons chants going all game. They were up and about. They had drums and everything like that. It was such a good atmosphere. Jax Cotton, we interviewed him at half time as well.
Okay.
He was happy to get on the camera and
Yeah,
tell us
he's
about
not
his
sure.
story.
Got a bit of media street, young Jaxie.
Yeah, so we got him up there and a bit of halftime entertainment for the stream. But no, it was a bit of fun. And yeah, Salisbury, commiserations to them. Obviously a bit tricky, 19-0 to lose the grand final. But Eastern Park on the day, yeah, they were up and about. They were happy, and a lot of them went back to the club after, I heard.
Yeah, I've no doubt Nathan Gromer in Division 1 would be looking at this one going, nothing is a foregone conclusion. Well done to Brett Joseph and his team. Both teams going to Div 5 with momentum, I believe. Mate, this segment's actually doubling up as the Div 6 report this week, but I want to thank you for all your efforts this year in Division 6. We didn't get it right, but we don't get it all right. But Div 6, what a great competition and what a great job you did. Thank you for all
thank
that,
you.
mate.
No.
Thanks. Div 5 time, and it was at Payneham Oval where Mitcham got the chocolates and are the premiers. Give us the score, please, mate.
Yeah, so Mitcham 18-12, 120, played Colonel Light Gardeners 8-7, 55, 6 goals to nothing in the first quarter. They kicked with the breeze and it worked out for them pretty well.
Yeah, that's where they got the job done. It's very hard to come back from 6 goals down in the grand final. Let's look at some of the goal kickers and better players. Colonel Light Gardens haven't listed their goal kickers, which I completely understand after a loss, but better players, Obbs to Glazebrook, Harris, Fowl, and Callum Knox, our colleague, was in the best players. We really feel for Callum, but Mitcham were just too good, and yeah, what can you say about them? Their goal kickers, Max Smythe, 8, Spinello, 4, Gabrish, 2, Gray, Taylor, Cromarty and McCarthy all kicked 1. The story, though, he was named best on ground, Maxwell Smythe, 8 goals and 99 for the year. That is some sort of year.
Yeah, good effort to him. Too bad he couldn't get that one extra one just to hit the 100, but still 99 goals, you're not going to complain about that.
Yeah, mate, let's have a look at the better players. Obviously, as we've mentioned, Maxwell Smythe was fantastic. Great to see Curtis Stringer in there. Boy, I coached in some state Gaelic footy as a star, former Payneham player. Collins, Lawson and Tucker. Big shout out to the Pride boys, Harry and Ollie, again, former Payneham premiership player. Harry and, look, they're just too strong, too good. Of course, you give Colonel Light Gardens credit. You talked about the 6-goal opening quarter. They fought back. They got within 19 points at half time. And even at three-quarter time, down by 32 points. But in the last quarter, I think the breeze might have dropped off a bit. Mitcham kicking 7 goals for, just proving they are the best team in Division 5.
Yeah, Mitcham, they finished on top for a reason, and because of that, they get to be premiers. And yeah, a hard day for Colonel Light Gardens, but they'll come back in the next division stronger, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams go up to Div 4, and all of the teams that go up tend to do pretty well. So we wish both teams all the best. A huge congratulations to Luke Ivans, who's received a Coach of the Year nomination, and we wish him all the best of luck in that. Premiership under your belt probably gives you a chance, doesn't it? Yeah. And to all of the Mitcham Hawks, well done. You are premiers, and once again, you have every right to be talking about the flags and celebrating hard. Talking flag, Division 4 edition, where the Chicks have done it again. They're back-to-back at Hisense Oval or Richmond. What was the score, please, Jad?
Yeah, so Kilburn 15-11, 101 played Westminster 3-9-27. So a little bit too good on the day.
74-point victory there for the Chicks. Let's have a look at the best players and goal kickers. We'll start with Westminster, where Leck kicked 2 and Drum 1. Better players, Ross, Phillips, Tate, Drum and Casey. But the story is all about the Chicky babes. They were outstanding. Turning back the clock, Housen kicking 4, Barilla 3, Wilson 2, Ubranic 2, Lauder, Wiles, Galbraith and Headland 1. Some very familiar names, some blokes there who've won 5 premierships, some blokes who've won 4, plenty of good footballers. Better players, Braden Lawler, Brooks, Hughes, Captain Jaden Davidson and big greasy Nick Pearce, mate. But I need to talk firstly about the best on-ground winner. It was Braden Lauder. That's now back-to-back flags for Braden. And he is, of course, the son of the Rat, Gavin Lauder. Interesting little bit of byplay here. The Rat with the four Kilburn flags, 94, 95, 01, and I'm not sure the other one. And his son now with back-to-back flags. He's chasing him down. Will he catch him, mate? What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was a dominant second half from Kilburn, 9-1 in that second half onwards, and 10 grand finals have 1 or 10.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
It must be. It sounds like you've watched What Caught Our Eye.
Yeah, so to be in 10 grand finals and then have the confidence to win 100% is crazy.
I thought Goodwood Saints had the best premiership record, but I'm not sure anyone's got 10 out of 10. I know Goodwood lost one to either Uni or Broadview back in the early 2000s, but 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
My God.
So crazy effort there, and congrats to everyone at Kilburn, as well as a bit of talk about Westminster being a bit too quick for Kilburn, but that wasn't the case, was it?
No, and some of the ageing names, Brackstone and Housen, well, they stood up and they were outstanding. They look quick. Old Chompers, Galbraith, they don't get sight. And big Nick Pearce. I mean, Pearcey was part of the 2012 Premiership, led the Rucks then. He's back 12 years later, and he still dominated yesterday. Mate, I've got a whole bunch of stuff on this because I spoke to the footy manager this morning and got some pretty funny stuff from inside Kilburn. Look, when I was checking the score, obviously we were on the stream, we looked at the scores all day. At one point it was 5-1 to 1-6, but what they did do, Kilburn went into the breeze in the first quarter and their pressure and intensity around the ball was outstanding. Their defence was strong and they were, as you said, just too good. Some pretty funny stories as well. So footy manager Danny Ryan was woken up this morning at 9 a.m. by Andy Graham and Nick Pearce knocking on his door. They wanted breakfast and they wanted the keys to the club. These Kilburn boys certainly can celebrate and they've carried on. I want to mention some of the people behind the scenes because, it's not that long ago. And I'm going to quote directly from footy manager Danny Ryan. In 2018, we're in disarray, 180,000 in debt and one council vote away from this proud club being shut down. They had 2 struggling teams in Div 4 and 5 seasons later, they're secured moving up 2 divisions and have 12 teams across junior and senior grades, including women's football. Shout out to Dale Aegis, Danny Parks, Kathy Parks, Danny Flower, Glenn Russell, Nikki Macon, Caroline Now Brandy. I'm not going to lie, Jad, I worked with this club through my full-time role. They did the work and they reaped the rewards. Congratulations to the Kilburn Footy Club. It's outstanding, isn't it?
Yeah. Congrats to everyone involved, and that's a good story to see. And if there's any other clubs struggling out there, it's a good story just to push forward and have some hope and work hard, and you can turn it around. And congratulations to the coach, Steve Cuzner, as well, for that grand final win.
Yeah, look, I could say a lot about this team, and obviously I know a lot of these guys as well. But one other person, Rick Stroppy Watson, has managed the team for 30 years, and they're the people that you really want to win this stuff for. The people that are there 30 years, thick and thin, non-stop. And was 21 points of difference at the half. Westminster would have thought they had the legs probably to run over them, but they didn't. Again, another one where I've seen it pop up. I've seen a fair bit of it. Too old, too slow. I don't think so. We're in Division 3 and we're going for 3 in a row. They didn't say that bit, but look out for the Chicks in 2025, I'd suggest.
Yeah, well, they know how to win premierships, so if they're in the finals, in the sniffer finals, they'll definitely be confident.
Yeah, can they win 11 from 11? Well, only time will tell, and they'll recruit some players, and it is confirmed that most of the list have committed to staying on, as you do on grand final night. I'm staying, brother. But they're talking flags, and they'll be talking about them for quite a while. Congratulations to Kilburn Footy Club. Talking flags, Division 3 at Morn Team Hyundai or Woodville Oval, and a team that is talking not 1, not 2, but 3 flags is the Henley Footy Club. Congratulations, victorious in all 3 grades. The score, please, my friend.
Yeah, good effort by them. Henley 15-9-99, Lockley 7-8-50. So, yeah, a good effort there. 49-point win. Let's have a look at some of the goal kickers and better players on a day which was very, very tricky with conditions. A strong blustery breeze. For the Demons, Harron kicked 3. Ascoli, Batley, Navira and Paul all kicked 1.
Rainey, King, Batley, Poole and Harum were named in the best players for the Demons. But it's all about Henley. And it was Harlan with 4, Tommy Pillion with 3, Pat Hillard with 2, Martin, Matty Broadbent, Enright, Hawke, Schwartz and Carroll, a really good spread of goal kickers there for the Sharks. Better players, Enright, Jack Pillion, Carroll, Harding and Nick Karupis in defence was outstanding. What mail have you got on the game from our good friend Tim Pillion, who's a pretty happy dad today, I might say.
Yes, I imagine he would have had a big night, I reckon.
So still midnight, he said, Tom, and he answered the call at 9 a.m. this morning, so full credit to him.
Henley, 10 goals in the third quarter in the Premiership quarter. That probably is the difference in that match. And came out after half time and really put on the goals.
10 goals is offered enough to win a grand final, so 10 and a quarter. It's interesting to note at half time, it was only 3 goals, 6 to 5 points in very tricky conditions. And, it could have gone either way, but they just put the foot on the throat and went bang. Karupis and Broadbent down back. So in those 10 goals, apparently 6 score assists from Matty Broadbent. He was just able to laser that ball from defence and create chains that resulted in goals. He was outstanding. Couple of award winners in this one, mate. Who was the 2 different awards? The Archies Award, firstly, please, mate.
Yeah, so the Archies are the best prize of footy, I call them. Jack Hawke, so congratulations to him. And the best on ground on the day, Jack Enright, the centreman for Henley.
Yeah, he did a great job. And apparently 15 tackles for the day, Jack Enright. Was probably tackled 15 times himself. So just so much involvement right under the umpires' noses, and fair enough. Hawke played a great game off half-back and was instrumental in a lot of the set-up play. The defence, again, Premierships often run around defence, and Karupis, Broadbent, Hawke were just simply outstanding. Both Pillion boys were great. The battle in ruck as well was probably Henley took control there, and that's where they got the chocolates. So I guess I've mentioned Andrew Pearson in another segment, the president. He'd be absolutely thrilled with his 3 premierships, mate. And just finally, mate, the coach, of course.
Yes, Damon Head, congratulations to him and everyone at the Henley Football Club. To win the A grades, the B and the C, a very huge effort for there, and a big day for everyone involved in the football club. Everyone got a medal.
Quite a large night as well. Yeah, they're the nights you want. So they head back to Division 2 now, and they come back with the Thunder. I think the Henley Footy Factory is alive and well. Watch out for them next year in 2025. It's our Between the Post Talking Flags exclusive Division 2 time. Congratulations to the Premiers of Ross Trevor, who won the flag at Cooper Stadium or Nord Oval yesterday.
Yes, so it's Ross Trevor 10-6-66 and Salisbury North 7-13-55. A bit of an upset there.
Yeah, yes, it was an upset, and they had 4 more scoring shots, so no doubt the Hawks would be very disappointed that they didn't quite get the chocolates. Let's look at the better players and goal kickers. We'll start with Salisbury North. It was goal kickers Jacob Russo and Jake Johansson kicked 2. Brad Johansson, Hellbauer and McIntyre kicking 1. Their better players were McFedrin, Russo, Geordie O'Brien, Stokes and Thomas. Whilst for the victorious and accurate Rocks 10-6-66, wow, it was Boxer, Watson and Lanzoni kicking 2. Denis Triansky, Schutz and Buckham all kicking 1. Better players James Wharton, Ball, Dawson, Lynn and Lanzoni. An outstanding win for the Rocks.
Yeah, good win by Ross Trevor. I was at the game 2 weeks ago in the qualifying final. They lost that one by 33 points. To come turn around, beat Athelston, and then in the final now get the job done over Salisbury North. Learn from the mistakes from 2 weeks ago was great. The second and third quarters probably where it was won. Salisbury North kicking 1 goal 7, so a few missed chances there. And Ross Trevor 6-4, so those middle 2 quarters was the difference.
Yeah, and look, I was at Campbelltown Oval, home of Ross Trevor, commentating Division 1 yesterday. I went inside through the back door there, and I couldn't believe there was 200 people around the television. I was like, I wasn't sure what game was on, and it was the Ross Trevor game. So I actually got a chance to look at bits and pieces of it, and couldn't help but notice at one point Salisbury North on 4 goals 11. And I sort of said at the time, I think they might have kicked themselves out of the game, and that did prove to be the case. But Ross Trevor found a way. They're good. They're very good at grand finals. We've seen them win a lot of them. They've won Division 1 grand finals, and now another Division 2 grand final. And well, when that final siren went at Campbelltown Oval yesterday, it was pretty obvious who won. The roar that lifted, and well done to Ross Trevor, able to not just win a grand final, but host a game at their wonderful location yesterday, mate. Best on ground?
Yeah, best on ground, number 18, James Wharton. So congratulations to him. He's been consistent all year. Yeah, and a very, very good footballer, and one I know Salisbury North were hoping to put some time in, but they couldn't curtail his influence. And best on ground in the grand finals, a fair award to get. Look, at the end of the day, bad kicking is bad football. Salisbury North will rue their chances. They haven't had a good A-grade grand final record. The drought continues, but both teams will go into Division 1 and take great... Golden Grove and Payneham both went into Division 1 and made finals, so good things can happen when you go in with momentum. Yeah, exactly. And we saw Payneham actually go quite far. They lost last year, the grand final.
Yep.
So they were the losing side, but they ended up finishing further into the season than the winners. So you never know, you can turn around for sure. And just to be in Div 1 for Salisbury North, they'll definitely be up for it.
Back where they belong, some might say about 5 or 6 years after when they left. The only other thing is to say congratulations to Damien Boots, who's done a great job with Ross Trevor, Premiership coach now. And Ross Trevor, they were, like I said, I was at the ground yesterday and they were absolutely thrilled. High fives everywhere. People throwing high fives willy-nilly, as Adam Jeffries would say, but congratulations. You've got a right to be talking flags because you're the 2024 Premiers of Division 2.
Taken in the square, but Giannini gets a quick handball out. Rahui dances around them all. Rahui, he puts it through, and that is absolute magic from Taj Rahui. He sold it.
First team in the same weekend has a shot after the sign from outside the paint. Enters the tarmac. Has he got the kick in him? Close to the man on the mark. Gives it the kitchen sink. Is it home? It is! What a wonderful goal! Jarman single. You've got the snags. One. Goes to Shepherd, gets a slicer down the line, direction of Pasco and Cavallaro. Smart kick, good work off the ground by Cavallaro. Could this be the snag of the year? Is this the snag of the year? Umpire says, oh, clear Cavallaro!
Nunga. They've got the numbers now. What can they do? Jack Scott goes out wide. Oh, big leap! Boys, he paid the mark. That is a huge hanger. Seagal again.
Brianna's just knee deep in mud.
That's a penetrating kick inside the 50s. Oh, that's a big high mark too, and that was yeah.
The edge of the 50, somewhere around there. He strikes it well, but I don't think it's going to get the journey. Oh, and that is a huge hanger!
Bianco! Going into... Oh, there's a Bianco marker, the weight contender on Ladies' Day.
So, Carthy pumps it in long.
What a mark!
This is the opposite ground for we are. Got confused with. Oh, big fly!
Go big! Go big!
Come on!
Oh, he got that on Oh, you're sorry, Tuffy!
Yeah, you would walk away.
From the Henley Sharks, one of two new players. Interesting, Brighton have had. Oh my goodness! Jake Tucker has taken off.
Welcome back to Between the Posts, and for the final time this year, it's time for What Caught Our Eye. All right, Div 7, we're going back. Obviously, they played their grand final, mate, but you were there, so it makes sense. What caught my eye there is Para Hills, not just going up into Div 6, but going up with 2 flags. Congratulations to the Red Roos. They've done an outstanding job, mate, but you were at the game, so you probably got something a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah, so it was the closest grand final so far, so that was a good effort there. It was a very crazy game. If you can go back and watch that third quarter, there was probably about 4 goals there that could have been in contention for goal of the week, I think. They were unreal goals, just a lot of action at Norwood Oval, big crowd as well, and yeah, very, very fantastic day.
Yeah, OSB 9 points up at half time, but it let it slip. Let's have a look at Div 6, another one you're at as well. So all I've got for that one, mate, I'll let you speak to it. But down by 7 points at half time to a team that was 19-0, Eastern Park, too old, too slow, I don't think so. 3 goals, 2 to 1 point, the premiership quarter, they got the job done.
Yeah, that's it. And Eastern Park lost to Salisbury 3 times throughout the year, including the final by 4 points 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Came back in the grand final, incredible effort, win by 11, and yeah, again, I was there for that one as well. So it was a very good day, and yeah, good effort by Eastern Park. We had a chat with their coach after the match, and he was wrapped, obviously.
Yeah, and they're pretty active on the old socials, Eastern Park, so you can expect plenty of fun in the coming weeks. Congratulations. Div 5, mate, what do you got?
Yeah, so I noticed 6 goals to 0 in the first quarter and 7 goals to 2 in the fourth to Mitcham. So really dominant quarters there.
Yeah, far too good for Colonel Gardens by 75 points. But it was best on ground, Maxwell Smythe, who kicked 8 goals, an outstanding effort. You know how many that is for the year now, mate?
I don't know, tell me.
It's 99. Come on, Maxie. He needed to kick 9 in the grand final, do a Gary Ablett. But that certainly caught my eye, and well done. I think he still would have celebrated quite well.
Yeah.
In Division 4, mate, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so in the qualifying final, Kilburn only won that one by 5 points. In the end...
in overtime as well, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. They come out and win by 74 points, so a massive effort, and also winning it from third spot on the ladder.
Yeah, I've spoken to the footy manager this morning. There's a lot of things that caught my ear and my eye, and the first stat I've got to give you is in their last 10 grand finals, Kilburn have won 10 premierships. An unprecedented success rate in grand finals. They play the big ground. But you know it's a big day. Dale Aegis last night was seen having a margarita and espresso martini, a man that's done so much work behind the scenes. Congratulations to Dale and everyone at Kilburn. Good luck in Div 3.
So for Div 3, I had Lockleys winning by 5 points back in round 17. And now in the grand final, Henley win by 49 points, a 54-point turnaround there.
Yeah, a really strong game there. A 10-goal third quarter to Henley. We'll talk more about that in Talking Flags, but that's an outstanding effort. But I just want to pay tribute to Andrew Pearson, the president. The president's entitled to be happy and sit back and have a beer when 3 teams win grand finals, A's, B's and C's. It's outstanding. But no, he worked the bar till after midnight. So well done to everyone at the Sharks.
Yeah, congrats to them.
Division 2, I'll lead off on this one, mate, and heartbreak for Salisbury North, who've been the best team all year. Bad kicking is bad football, and they've gone into a grand final. They've had 4 more shots at goal, but they've fallen short by 11 points.
Yeah, for me, what I noticed was in the qualifying final, Salisbury North beat them by 33 points, and then to come out in the grand final and lose by 11. So unluckily to Salisbury North, but they'll both be in Div 1 next year, and Ross Trevor, yeah, they'll be happy with that one.
Yeah, of course, last year's Div 2 grand finalists both made finals and did very well. So hopefully the same for the 2 teams coming up for their sake. And in Div 1, mate, for the last time this year, what caught your eye, my friend?
Yeah, for me, I noticed that Port District had 9 different goal kickers, so really spread out the load of the kicking and yeah, put a score big enough to win.
Yeah, and that was one of the concerns going in, and one of the things I thought that might tip the advantage in Paynham's favour, but it did not. I was commentating that game yesterday. Conditions didn't make for a wonderful football spectacle, but it was still a tight, tough game. Well done to Port. But what caught my eye is looking forward now. The biggest game in Adelaide Football League each year is the Division 1 grand final. It will be Port versus Glenunga down at Nord Oval. Get on down to the game. It's going to be tremendous. There'll be thousands of people there. And if you can't get to the game, obviously, Jad, they watch the stream, don't they?
Yes.
Watch the stream. The stream's great. The production qualities of the whole team. Everyone works really, really hard to bring you the best show that we can give you. Mate, that has been what caught our eye for the year. We're not going to do one next week with just the one division left playing, mate. But thank you for everything you've brought to it this year.
No, for sure. I always love that segment and love the little edits at the start. They're always a bit of fun.
Yeah. They are good. And I thought it was really important that we did a segment on the show where we're covering each division off each week. And thanks to some of the people that send me stuff in for what caught my eye, it's always enjoyable, and I love looking at the entire Adelaide Footy League. Thanks for joining us in 2024. We hope to be back in 2025. And welcome back to Between the Post. It is time for the last word, brought to us by SAPOL. And thank you to SAPOL and all of our wonderful sponsors of Adelaide Footy League and what we do here in the media. Jad, the first question I ask everyone each week is, have you had some fun today?
Yes, a lot of fun coming on the show. I love talking about footy, so yeah, love to come on.
And obviously you've been wonderful all year doing your Division 6 stuff and being out commentating each week. Have you enjoyed the commentary?
Yeah, I love it. I love to get around the local footy and have a bit of a commentating with different partners every week, have a bit of fun, and thanks to you guys watching the stream, we can continue to do that.
Yes, and of course, I'm back in commentary now, and this week I will be on the Division 1 stream, probably no surprise there, with Adam Jeffries, Lockie Gould, and our team. Really excited to bring you Glenunga and Port. It should be a huge game. Of course, this week, don't forget, Team of the Year will be released. The 22 players will be selected by a selection panel and announced. But mate, I need to ask you, you've seen a lot of footy, you've actually seen them more live than me. I've watched a lot of replays and enjoyed what you've done. It's Glenunga and Port District. Just briefly, who's your tip and why?
Yeah, I think you have to go Glenunga after the last time they versed each other, but it'll be probably closer than what we saw last week. So I think it's about 2 or 3 goals maybe, Glenunga.
Yep, that's exactly what I've tipped in the Division 1 report. Glenunga by 2 or 3 goals. Grand finals are funny things because the actual result, it matters who wins and loses. It doesn't matter by how many points. So once a team gets on top, they can pile on goals at the end. I don't expect that to happen here so much. I think it'll be tight and tough all day. But yeah, Glenunga should be raising the Division 1 premiership for Nathan Grimer. and Abe Davis and everyone involved there. Thanks for joining me, mate, and thanks to all of our viewers for watching this week's edition of Between the Posts.